now getting some CNN News 18 mega exclusive. We are now learning that CNN News 18 in fact has gone on to decode the reason for exactly sending Sonam Wangchuk to Jodhpur Jail, which is very away from the local jails in either Jammu and Kashmir or nearby areas. The strategy that is in place is that of isolation, disruption of networks and stronger security control. This is what we have gone on to decode. To understand this better, we have our colleague Anand Narasimhan joining us on the broadcast. Anand, first of all, this strategy that one speaks of, that of isolation. Before being taken into custody, Sonam Wangchuk went on record. He said that so far I was protesting peacefully, nobody heard, but if they are taking me, they're finally jailing me, probably my voice is going to be heard. But what is this disruption of network that one is learning of?
Well, good afternoon, Griha, and good afternoon to our viewers. Now, the thing is that Sonam Wangchuk is seen as the figurehead or the fountainhead of this entire protest. Now, whether it went out of hands based on his own plan or it just went out of hand because certain political entities corrupted it and there were also certain foreign entities who were involved who want Ladakh destabilized, that's a matter of investigation. But right now, the investigators believe, and they have tried this in Punjab with Amritpal Singh and some of the others when they were detained. They've tried this in Jammu and Kashmir. Even in Uttar Pradesh during the anti-CAA Amendment Act protests and all of that, they moved the key instigators and perpetrators out of the particular area towards distant jails to, one, break this entire chain of communication, and two, to also diffuse the entire momentum or bubble or boil that was being built by these entities. So moving them out of the entire theater of action, if I may use that phrase, despite it being a military phrase, is that it helps diffuse the situation and bring a certain level of calm and also try and break this entire chain of command. That's what the investigators believe. The other thing is to get to the bottom of who are the instigators. Why is Sonam Wangchuk resorting to this? Because he has been protesting about this and demanding, statehood for Ladakh and also inclusion in the 6th schedule. Soon after Galwan, in fact, if my memory serves me right, post-COVID, the agitations picked up, but he had started raising this soon after Bharat started standing up to the PLA and the Chinese and took back a lot of the Ladakh regions which the Chinese wanted to try and occupy and push them back, and while also moving a counter-offensive. But Sonam Wangchuk has had a few issues, few grouses which he wanted addressed. Interestingly, one also needs to answer, if he has traveled to Pakistan, who gave him the visa? Who allowed him to actually travel to Pakistan when travel to Pakistan anyway it is under huge amount of scrutiny? So that's another question. But did he turn? Did somebody influence him? Or did he come under the influence of certain political entities saying that you've been protesting for such a long time, like you were quoting his own words,
yes,
and now he's getting the attention he wanted? We do not know. But there is incriminating material to try and perhaps, bring the situations down to control. Ladakhis have been fiercely nationalists, and they understand that they don't want a statehood. Most of the people understand that they want under Union territory, but they were being ignored when it was the erstwhile state of Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, because we would still say Jammu Kashmir. No, many people didn't know it is Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh.
Absolutely, and Sonam himself was the one who came on record and he was celebrating that in 2019, that decision.
But something flipped and changed, not just after the 2019 elections, but after Galwan. Post Galwan and the response, what happened, and it's changed. He's fought fiercely for Ladakhi identity. He had an issue with a certain level of demographic alteration, influence of certain entities from Kargil who were trying to exert more influence. He was not very happy of Kargil continuing to be included under the Ladakh Union territory. There were certain demographic, ethnic issues also which came into play. But after that, what's happened? What has his grouse increased with the powers that be, or has he been co-opted by certain entities who want to influence the Bharatiya narrative and create this area and create trouble in this area? See, China stands to benefit because they are already in the neighborhood with occupied territory, that is Tibet. The Pakistanis want a handle on Ladakh because they find this to be the perfect way to infiltrate into the country. It also shares its borders with Nepal. So there are certain places where Ladakh becomes very critical and very important for Bharat in terms of strategically. The palm and five fingers of Mao Zedong and the PLA includes Ladakh. So they continue to covet the territory. We've already lost a huge part of it, that is Aksai Chin, back back in the 60s when, under Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Bharat gave it up because now the archives reveal the choice was either Arunachal or Aksai Chin. Why we fell into that trap is another question. But right now, Ladakh needs stability. Ladakh needs government control. We have to understand the moment you try and push for this level of statehood, then we are putting in huge hurdles and threats to national security. How could the army have moved in with such swiftness had it not been a union territory? How could rescue, relief, rehabilitation, and also counterattack measures and movement measures have been moved had it not been a union territory and a central administration? How could roads have been built, connectivity established, power reach had there been a layer of state, co-option of the state leaders, and etc., etc.? How could highly sensitive material information have been protected had you had a layer of state police, state administration, civilian administration, etc., etc., in border states, and especially something as strategic and as critical as Ladakh? So, who are the people who are influencing Sonam Wangchuk? He was looking at foreign funding to back his conservationist efforts. He is credited with the ice stupa. He's credited with so many other ecological measures that help the people of Ladakh save water, because it's a desert in the heights. It's a
Yes.
mountain desert region. But did that get corrupted somewhere? Did he get influenced? It's all a subject matter of investigation. No, contrary to local narratives that are being deliberately pushed, that he's being treated like a terrorist. He's not being treated like a terrorist. He's being treated as a person of interest. But there are foreign entities whose presence has been now noted in Ladakh. Now, who they are,
Right.
whether they're nabbed, what information is gleaned, we'll know in the coming days. But this is purely with the intent of restoring normalcy, peace, and also with an eye on national security.
Right, Anand, thank you so much for that perspective. I guess a lot of answering will happen now that the Pakistani PIO is under custody. That important conversation that we've had with the Ladakh DGP also serves to answer a lot of those very questions. We'll keep an eye on this big story.